Hi guys, now I've got a bit of a vlog and a chat, if you like, on my brick and mortar antique shop. Now, as you know, I'm almost complete on my second year of having an antique shop. I've just moved from a smaller shop now to a larger shop, and I'm going to discuss the move and the emotions behind it, and then I'm going to look at the last 2 years of brick and mortar shops, do the pros and cons of having a brick and mortar shop versus selling on the internet or car boot sales and antique fairs and things like that, and just a general chit chat and things that come to mind. I've got myself a little script here of what I want to discuss and cover with yourselves, and at the end then I've got a load of questions that have been posed by yourselves, and I'm going to read the questions out and answer them the best I can. I've just picked half a dozen questions, and hopefully they'll relate to, these are the more relevant, then here would be the word I'm looking for, questions for today's vlog. So we're going to start off, obviously, as you're aware, I had my shop move. Now, for those of you who follow me regular, you know I had a very small shop on the corner of a little town in South Wales. It was 2 rooms, about 10 foot square each, very small, but I must admit, I was really pleased. It was my first stepping stone onto the brick and mortar shops. It was my first ever shop. I've never had a brick and mortar shop before. I've always done car boot sales, antique fairs, flea markets, and eBay and other online sources. And it was a big hurdle. I don't know where I got the confidence from to go on to the high street, as you heard it out there, quite manic and crazy. But I was really proud. It was a lot of fear, excitement to take on the bills, and the commitment, because you have to sign a lease, and it's a lot of risk involved. And I must admit, everybody was telling me at the time, don't do it, run away, everybody's buying online these days and so forth. But I must admit, I was really, really proud of that little shop. It was only a small shop, and it was a lot of emotion when I left. It was almost like I was being disloyal to the shop. It was my first shop that I'd ever had. It was a good shop. It produced a lot of take-ins and brought a lot of really good gear over the door, as you've seen, as if I film a lot of the pieces that come over the door. So you got to see quite a lot of what I bought. And when you consider it's a very small town, and it was a very small shop, but yeah, it done really well. So it was almost like I was cheating on a woman, is the only way I could explain it to you. When I was considering moving shops, I weighed up everything, the pros, the cons. Did I want to start the commitment again? Everything. You wouldn't believe the emotions involved in trying to decide whether to run a business, continue in the business, and expand the business and so forth. There's so many emotions, and I tell you what, the biggest one of them all is fear. The worry of, oh my god, if I take on a bigger place now, and then I got to start again, I got to sign contracts all over again, I got to go for at least another year or two. It's a lot of fear. I must admit, I was umming and ahhing. I nearly didn't. There was the element of, I was worried that this shop, the new shop, would end up being sold from under me and I'd be shopless. The old shop, I finally gave that back yesterday. I cleaned it, filled all the holes, painted it, and handed it back, and had my bond back. And I tell you what, when I was handing the keys back, it was quite a sad feeling. It really was. But things move on. I'm going to have a little bit of a look at the last 2 years now, or close on 2 years now, in just a minute. But I just wanted to just say, if you haven't seen the video of my new shop, go and take a look at it. I'll put the link in the description. The shop is absolutely beautiful. It's 3 or 4 times the size of my last shop, so I've got a lot more cabinets in. Sandra's husband helped me build some of the cabinets up, and in the other film you see him, he forgot his hammer, so he was literally jumping up and down using his backside to knock some of the cabinet walls together. It was quite comical. So yeah, go and take a look at that, and you'll actually get to see what the shop looks like and close up what I've got for sale in the cabinets. And I'm very proud of the new shop. Now I'm gonna take a look at 2 years of shops. Now, as you know, it was my first shop. As I've just explained to you, there was a lot of fear involved. I struggled as well to find a decent shop. By decent, I wanted something mainstream, Main Street, that wasn't astronomically priced. Now, I did consider getting a shop in Aberdeen town centre, which is a much bigger town with a lot more population. But it worked out on top of the bills and everything, the council rates, the rent, the electric, the insurance, and everything included. The first £500 a week I took was gone on bills. Now you imagine taking on that commitment for a minimum of 12 months or 18 months at £500 a week. What if you went in there and you took no money? You still got to pay them bills. And that's where the scary part is, the fear, and that comes in. But I bit the bullet. A lot of you gave me the confidence to take on the shop. You know, when I was doing the YouTube films, when I was at the car boot sales and everyone was loving what I was buying, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to take the plunge and I'm going to get it. And you know, I don't regret it one bit. I really don't. But I'll give you a full summary at the end. I'm going to look at the pros and cons of a brick and mortar shop versus an online sales like eBay, Facebook, car boot sales and things like that. Now, pros. The first one, of course, which is all important for here, is people bring things into me all the time. Now, just a few of the things that I'm going to use as examples. A few weeks ago, I had a full Cougarand, which is a South African gold coin, a full set of that brought into me. I paid £1,000 for it. I sold it on eBay within weeks for $2,200. Already by there, you know, $1,100 profit, $1,200 profit within a couple of weeks. I've had boxes of costume jewellery brought in, of which I've pulled diamond brooches and rings out of. Just before Christmas, a lady came in with crates of costume jewellery. I give her £400. By the time I sift through it all, I hadn't enough £2,500 worth of gold. So it's been really good on the buy-in side. Antiques, I get literally, people bring me things in every day. Some lady brought me in a couple of train oil on board paintings a couple of days ago. They were very modern, very new. You know, somebody, an amateur, had just liked the scene and painted it. I didn't pay much, and you know what? They sold for over 3 times the money within 2 days. Literally, in, gone, profit made, and they're out. So people are bringing me stuff in. I must have at least 10 or 15 people every single day bring things into me. It's got to the point now where I used to say, well, I'll pay you decent money for that. For that, I'll just give you a few pound and I'll put it on a car boot sale. I don't even do that anymore. I can't keep up with the sheer volume of stuff coming in. So now I say, donate that to a charity shop. I'll give you the extra £5 on that lot or something, and that's what I'll pay you, and I take the better pieces. I'm really struggling to keep up with the sheer volume of people that bring stuff in. It's not all great stuff. A lot of it, you know, is rubbish or work in stock. But I tell you what, there are some real gems that come in. You will not find a Cougarand coin set on a car boot sale. And if you do, it's a miracle. Alright? But it come in over the door. A couple of weeks ago, I had a Clog-Eye Gold Sovereign come in for scrap weight. Sold it for $900 within the first 24 hours. So I done a video on that one shouting about the eBay fees, so that was a good one. So the major pro is people bring stuff into me all the time. I'm not under pressure to go sourcing, and I get offered stock that I would never find at car boot sales. The most important one for me, I don't know why it wasn't first to be honest with you, is I'm warm and I'm dry. I used to work the car boot sales. Now any of you who do the car boot sales, the market stalls, the flea markets, antique fairs, things like that, you know as well as I do, if you got to work, you got to work in the rain, you got to work in the wind, you got to work in the snow. It can be freezing cold, it can be wet, it can be damp and dirty. You know, there's a lot of pros for being here. I'm sat in a warm shop. I've got central heating, double glazing, electric. I got my laptop so I can work the internet. I can be listening on eBay if it's quiet in here. I can watch a film if I'm cleaning, polishing silver or anything. I can put a film on, watch a film in the background while I'm working. You know, I can't emphasize enough. In the early days, I'd go to Derby Antiques in the Park, work in the antique fair, or Swindon, and I'd sleep in the back of the car in a sleeping bag and be shivering cold. That's how hard it is when you work in the fairs and the markets. They really are not easy. So to have a shop where you're warm and you're dry is priceless. It really is. On top of that, when you work in car boot sales, antique fairs and so on again, you have to pack your stuff up, transport it to the location, set your tables out and pack it. Risk of people knocking it over, risk of wind blowing it over, because believe me, I've been at antique fairs and seen tables going down the line as the wind hits them all. You got to sell all day, you got risk of theft. As you know, I've covered that as well in some of my films. Then you got to pack it back up, transport it back home, you got to lift it and carry it, everything. In a shop here, it's set up, it's all behind glass cabinets. They can't steal nothing, nothing can get broken. You know, how much stuff have you had damaged, you know, when you're transporting and you're throwing the boxes around, and on top of that, your back's in pieces. You know, there's so much to be said for not having to do that. Another pro of a shop is there's no competition. For me here, well, if I go to a car boot sale, or especially an antique fair, there's 500 or 1,000 stalls selling antiques or jewellery. Where I'm located, in the town of Mountain Ash, the closest jewellery shop or antique stall of any sorts is 7 miles that way in Aberdeen town centre. There's a little antique stall in the indoor market, and there's about 6 or 7 jewellers in Aberdeen. Or Pontypridd, which is about 10 miles that way, which hasn't got any antiques but it has got jewellery shops. Or Merthyr Tydfil, which again is about 10-12 miles the other direction, for antiques and jewellery. So you imagine there's probably 50,000 people living in that little circumference there that I have as a niche market, unique buyers. That is priceless, because the amount of people that walk in, I'm looking for something spur of the moment as a present, or they just come in just for a nose and they go, oh, do you know, I really like that. They can't do that online. When you're selling online, people specifically look for the item. The collectors, let's say a bit of Whitefriars glass, they specifically look for Whitefriars glass. Then you got thousands of listings and it's potluck if they take yours. If someone walks in off the street and they go, oh, that's a nice vase. Oh, so-and-so collects that, I'll have that. And it's there in their hand. And there's a lot to be said about people being able to just pick up something and hold it and have trust that they can just take it away with them. As opposed to buying something online. There are a lot of scams going on with eBay and things, and you're not always guaranteed to get what you buy. And if you get it, it's not guaranteed the description's accurate. I know there's a lot of protection with PayPal, money back and things like that, but there are a lot of scams out there, and I will be making a video on the scams relatively soon. Bear with me a second. I think my last pro for having a shop is you build up regular customers who know where you are. Now I have regulars that come in here weekly, some for coins, others for jewellery, but I have regulars that come in every week on the dot. One elderly gentleman every Thursday morning, 9:10, walks through the door, £40-50 on coins every week without fail. That is brilliant because it is a regular. I know that money's there. And I tend to hold my coins for him now. When he comes in, he has a little rummage through them first. Now, you can build up regulars at car boot sales and antique fairs, but you're never guaranteed to be in the same pitch unless you pay for stupid rates. Now, I used to work in Malvern and things like that, and to have a permanent pitch indoors was a lot dearer than to be casual outside, and then you'd have to pay in advance, and if you didn't want to go, you'd still lose your money. Casual pitch, you just turn up on the day and pay, and you could be put anywhere. Same at car boot sales, you could be put anywhere. You can have a permanent pitch. You pay, Andy charges £3 or £4 extra to have a permanent pitch in Bessemer, and I done that for years, and I was in the same spot for years. So you can do it, but more often than not, you're dotted around, and people can't find you as easy, or they may miss you. With the shop here, then they know where you are. Now, there's also cons. Now, the biggest con for me is I lost the freedom that the antiques job provides. One of the reasons we all love this job is we get to go off out. We can go anywhere. You can throw a dart at the map, drive there, do the charity shops, do the antique fairs, do any car boot sales you pass, and buy stock. And you can find stock anywhere. It is that easy. Then you go home, and at your own leisure, you can list on the internet, job done. You know, whatever sales you have, pack them up in the night or in the morning, back off, out you go. That freedom was priceless when my children were growing up. I never missed anything. I was there for their first steps, their first words. I was there for everything. Their first everything. As you're aware, I've just had another baby. She's 6 months old and she's beautiful. But this time round, I'm in the shop. And there's a lot of things I'm not happy that I'm missing. I close now on a Thursday afternoon at the moment because she does water babies, which is underwater swimming, and I really don't want to miss it. But my partner, she spends more time with my daughter than I do, and that is the biggest and worst part about having a shop. I really do miss that freedom. That is the biggest cost to me, is the time that the shop takes away from you. On top of that, a shop comes with pressure. Now, if you are at working car boot sales or antique fairs, and let's say for argument's sake you're full up of a flu, you say, do you know what, I'm staying in bed, I'm not going to work. I've got stock here, I'll just list it on eBay or whatever, or I'll just let it run wherever I got it for sale, and I'll wait until I'm in bed and then I'll go back to it. If you've got a shop, people expect you open. Now, you've got two options then. You either come in sick or you pay someone to run it for you, which can be very costly. Small businesses don't take fortunes, so when you start paying minimum wage on an adult then, and insurance and taxes and all the rest of it, you can start really getting up some big bills. So you've got the pressure of the having to come to work. You've also got the pressure of bills. Let's say, for argument's sake, you've had a big bill in, you've paid out all your cash. Now, within a day or so you're going to have more sales on eBay and that, so you're alright. So you skip this car boot sale and you go buying on Sunday. So let's say you got no money on Friday, but on Sunday you will have. Skip Saturday's buying, you go out on Sunday. Now, if you're in a shop, you can't do that. A shop comes with a set bills that have to be paid no matter what. Forget the buy-in side of the stock and everything else. Your rent got to be paid, your rates got to be paid, your insurance got to be paid, your electric got to be paid. There's a whole host of bills that have to be paid. There's nothing at all you can push aside and say, oh, I'll pay that next week, or I won't go buy-in. I got to make sure I got money in the shop to cover all the bills and whatever walks through that door, because I'll be gutted if somebody walked through that door with a Cougar on one day for £500 or £600 and I haven't got it in the shop. The biggest thing for me here is the buy-in over the door. So I got to make sure I got that money here. Whereas you're not under that type of pressure when you work from home, doing the fairs and everything. I think that was it on the cons, to be honest with you. There's a couple of them, but they are pretty nasty. There's two really bad cons there, the freedom and the not being able to take time off if you need to. Now I'm going to get to a few viewers' questions before I give a summary. We're going to start with, well, how do I feel about the new shop, or about the shop in general? The new shop, I am very, very proud. I was very proud of the old shop, but the new shop is, again, another step up the ladder. The old shop was the first step. This is one heck of an improvement, and I'm on the second step of the ladder. And you never know, I may take the third step. So I'm super proud of the shop. Do I regret opening the shop? Not at all. I love the shop. I love dealing with the customers. I never thought I would, because I'm antisocial. Don't like people, don't go to clubs. I don't like being around people when they're drinking. I don't like crowds, but yet I'll sit in the shop and I'll talk to people about antiques all day long. Work that one out, I don't know. So how do I feel about the shop, and how do I feel about shops in general? I think, yeah, I love my shop. That's the only way I can put it. Another one, would I start up again, or would I stay to eBay and online? Truthfully, and I'll be hand on heart, I'd open up another shop. Selling online comes with so many restrictions. You can't sell this, you can't sell that. They won't allow you to put ivory on if it's, even if it's antique ivory. They won't let you sell daggers, swords, and so on, firearms. They won't let you sell this, they won't let you sell that. There's a whole host of things they won't let you sell. If the buyers return the item so many times, you can be suspended or thrown off. I don't like being held to ransom on my account. Now, I have an eBay account, and my eBay account is 100% high rating, and I'm a top rated seller. But they won't give me no discounts, nothing, because I refuse to go free postage and things. So I don't get the discount. I still pay the full price. But I don't like the control they have over me and over my business. So I love the fact I can put anything I want in my shop. I lay it out how I see it up here in my head. The video of my shop showing you what you see, that's how I saw it in my head playing out, and that's exactly how it came. It came how I saw it in my head. And I just love the freedom to sell what I want at the price I want. The only pressures I got are making sure I don't outprice something and stuff don't sell. I have to make sure I make my money at the end of each week to make a living. But would I stick to just eBay or Facebook selling or eTay selling or any of those? The answer is no. Now, I know you could say, oh, you can have multiple accounts. So if you get thrown off one, you can go on another and so on. Do you know what a load of hassle. I just don't like the fact. Do you know, I'll give you a wonderful example. I do a lot with police truncheons, antique truncheons. It is nothing but a bit of wood. A bit of wood. You can't sell them on eBay because of the possibility of misuse. I've got a cheese board over there and a knife for cutting it, produced by Baccarat, one of the finest makers in the world. I can't sell it on eBay because it contains a knife. Even though it's cutlery, it contains a knife. There's so many restrictions online selling that I would definitely open a shop again tomorrow. No questions asked. This is an important one. Do I find there's a difference in the prices I achieve in the shop to online or at car boot sales? And to be totally honest with you, I get better prices in the shop. When you work car boot sales, you can have £20 on it and they'll offer you a fiver, or they'll offer you £1. When some car boot sales, you can go down there and you'll say £3, they'll offer you 10 pence. And believe me, I've been there, done it, been through it. I started years ago, and there was a gentleman come up and asked me about a porcelain figurine. I said £7.50, and he started at 99 pence and went up in pennies with his offers, to the point I turned around to him and said it's now £10. Honestly, his offer was £5.1, £5.2, £5.3, all the way up. In the end, I refused to sell it to him. It was a joke. But you get some stupid offers. I've never ever had where people come in and pay the ticket price until I had a shop. Even on my eBay and that, I set a price. I always raise it slightly so people can make me an offer and I come down. So I achieve better prices in the shop than what you can online, because there's just so much competition online. But at the same time, in the shop, They may see something they never thought about searching for online. They come in, they don't know what they want to buy as a gift, and they see something new and they go, oh, do you know, I really like that. Now, some people will go, I like that, and have a look online, see if they can get it cheaper. That's absolutely fine. But then by the time you add in postage, shipping time, things like that, the amount of people that come in here, I need something for tomorrow. They're limited. They got to buy it today. So yeah, I find I get better prices. And for the lady who asked me, that people really buy antiques these days, I'm small time when it comes to antiques. I do about £1,000, maybe just under £1,000 a week off eBay when I'm up and running tidy. Not then counting my shops. My eBay's public knowledge, so I'm not worried about how much I say about my eBay. I think my 60-day total is about £6,000, so 6,000 for 2 months, about 800-900, somewhere around there a week. Plus my shop take. So yes, people still buy antiques. People still buy gold, coins, silver, and everything. It is worth getting into antiques, providing it is the right antique. And I'm going to do another film on that coming up soon. What should you buy? That'll be another film coming soon, guys. Would I recommend a brick and mortar shop? That's a really hard question to answer. Would I recommend a brick and mortar shop for me? Yes. Does that mean I'd recommend you take a brick and mortar shop on? I don't know. The truth of the matter is, it's a lot of hard work. Just moving shops here took me close on a month. By the time I spent the time packing up and then the 3 weeks moving and setting up, I was closed for the best part of 3 weeks. And the actual effort involved, you don't realise the effort involved. You're out stupid o'clock, sourcing the stock, you got to clean the stock, research the stock, you got to keep your shop clean, you got to polish it daily, because the amount of dust that comes in off the main road with cars, just the cleaning of the products, it's a lot of hard work. There's also a lot of risk involved with bills and things like that if you don't take no money. So what I would say is, would I recommend a brick and mortar shop? They can pay, but do your research first. I'm in a niche market. There's no jewelers around me. There's no antiques around me. Nothing. I'm the only one. So choose your location well. If you want to have a brick and mortar shop, they are worth it. But choose your location well. Do your research. I'm in an area where we qualify for small business rate relief. So I don't actually pay council tax. So my shop is council tax exempt. It's too small. It would be taxed, but because of the business relief, I don't get taxed because of the size. So do your research and see what you can actually find and contact councils. What you don't realise is people want you to open up in business. It's no secret about it. You form the council, they will give you help. When I was going to buy a church in Tree Harris and I was going to convert a church into a massive antique centre, I was offered a grant. They wanted me there, so they offered me a grant. I just didn't manage to buy it. I was outbid at the auction for the church. So do your research, guys. Research your market, research your location, research your product and pricing, make sure you price right. And yeah, a brick and mortar shop can pay. But be prepared to buy. Because I guarantee you, I'm not a pawn shop, I'm an antique shop, but I guarantee you, you will have hundreds of pounds worth of product offered to you daily. So you also got to know what to say yes to and what to say no to. So, and if something's too good to be true, if someone ever comes in your shop and says, do you know what, I got a cool grand here, give me 50 quid and you can have it, do you know what, ring alarm bells. If it's too good to be true, it more likely is true. Because I had to deal with some stolen goods here with the police and that, and I got a really good relationship with the police. They come in regular, they even buy off me. So yeah. So in simple terms, yes, I would recommend a brick and mortar shop, but what I would recommend is you look at all the pros, all the cons, all the costs and all the risks and make that decision for yourself, but they can pay. And finally, was it worth the effort? This one was referring to the swap from the shop to this shop. the question was the move worth the effort? And if you've seen the video of me, I done 2 videos. I done one saying goodbye to the old shop, and I give you a tour of the old shop. And I'll put a link to that video in the description as well. So if you watch that, you'll see how small the shop was. It was beautifully laid out, and you wouldn't believe the amount of stock I got in such a small shop. If you watch the new shop video, you will see it's beautifully airy, it's bright, it's light, it's spacious. I got double the amount of stock in here to what I had in the other shop, and I've still not over-cluttered it. Was it worth the effort? Yes, I've been very, very busy, far busier than normal. I have a lot of people have commented to me in the last 2 weeks that they didn't come in the other shop because it looked dark and small. And I've had people say that once you had 1 or 2 people in there, they wouldn't come in because they look crowded. This shop, I've had 10 and 12 people in here, no problem at all, spread out through the shop, and it's still been, haven't looked overcrowded. So it's been okay. For me, yes, it was worth the effort. I am really, really pleased with the outcome. Yeah, I'm just happy. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to cover before we just call it a day there, I think. If there's any questions you want to ask, feel free to ask them on any videos, and when I do a vlog or something, I answer every comment on the videos anyway, but if you want an in-depth question asked in a video, just let me know and I'll add it in the next vlog. It was really good to get back to the car boot sales on the weekend. I don't know if you saw my first car boot sale in a month, and we've had some beautiful weather. It's killed me not going out there looking. But I went out to Gethlegate car boot sale Sunday. I bought a diamond ring. Oh my god, it was for nothing. It really was. It's high carat, 18 or 22 carat, but about a carat of diamond. I had an Art Deco bronze. I had some Bohemian glass. Really, really nice to get back out there. I'm tired, I'm knackered, I've been beaten, but you know what? Every bit of it was worth it. My phone line's being fitted on Tuesday, so as of Tuesday I'm back to normal, making films and uploading films. So fingers crossed, it's onwards and upwards, guys. We'll stay here for a year or 2, and then you never know, something bigger again. You gotta always be positive. You never underestimate the power of positive thought. Well, that's what I was told anyway. Guys, thank you very much for watching.